I think a lot of people get so worried about coming out with something that's really perfect
Yeah,
that they never ship, or it takes so long to ship that the opportunity has passed them by. And so I'd much rather do something that's B plus effort and get it out immediately than try and get to an A minus and not get it there for 2 or 3 weeks or months or a year.
agreed.
And
I think perfectionism and procrastination are close cousins. Both are fear of shipping. One of
yeah,
them, you don't get started. The other, you never finish.
yeah,
But both of them delay the date that you ship. And I think a lot of people, they just don't want to ship in case they get feedback that it's not what the market wants to hear, or they're worried nothing happens, get no
yeah.
feedback. Well, that would be terrible. It must mean I'm really bad, or the product's really bad, or whatever. For me, perfectionism and procrastination are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll tell the story that I launched this little sales community. And when I did, I wrote up some copy and got something out there because I thought, oh, I got to get something out there. While I consider myself pretty good at sales, B2B sales, one-on-one, I'm not at the marketing side of things and writing very compelling copy. I assume that the thing is good and they'll see this copy and they'll pick up the phone and they'll call me or they'll sign up. And then believe me, and I launched this and the copy was kind of mediocre, but I was in a hurry. I wanted to get out there. And I think that's the thing that people fear is I only have one shot to get it right. And if it's not perfect, people will look at it and then they're going to discount everything you do from that point forward. But I don't think it's true. First of all, a lot of people aren't going to see it. And if you do it like I did, you can actually get a lot of feedback from people. Hey, I just put this out there. What do you think? What's wrong with it? You'd be surprised how many people came back and said, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. And so I iterated and fixed it and cleaned it up and got it out there. And then I used that as sort of part of my marketing. Hey, people help me. The copy's much better. Now check it out.
Well, a few things on that spring to mind. First off, there's a great line that I heard that if you're able to hear it, opportunity doesn't just knock once. It's like a steady drum roll on the
Yeah.
door. It knocks all the time. You just have to be able to hear it. You did show me your sales pages. And I think my standard feedback is often strip lots of stuff out at the
Yes.
start.
Yeah.
My feedback to you is constantly go quicker, have less in it, and just launch a lot earlier with a lot less in it. My thinking on a landing page is, first off, a landing page is wherever people land when they click a link. It might be in an ad, it might be in an email, it might do it in Messenger. So there's nothing special about a landing page. It's just where people land after they click the link. Because some people say the homepage isn't a landing page. If you send them to the homepage, then it's the landing page. It's where they land, right? Just simplify it.
Right.
Then the other thing about landing pages is landing pages do not convert. Everyone talks about the conversion rate of their landing page. A landing page doesn't convert. It just sits there being a landing page. What does convert is the visitor. The visitor converts into an inquiry or inquirer or a lead or a prospect. If you were to show me a landing page, or this happens a lot, people say, well, can you look at the landing page and tell me what feedback you have on it? I say, I can't judge a landing page in isolation. I need to know why the visitor arrived, how they found this page, what they're looking for, what you've promised them, what they expect to see on the page, etc. So that's the first thing about judging a landing page. I assume that the person who's arriving at the landing page is interested in the offer. That's why they clicked and came through. So you've said, Andy, I'm starting a B2B sales community. It's going to help XYZ people to do A, B, C. And I'll be like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. So I come through, I'm already warmed up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't need to necessarily tell me loads of detail and you don't need to hit all my pain points, etc. I'm interested enough to click and come through. But the thing is, it does help to know what's been said beforehand, or what the ad was, or what they searched for on Google, etc. So all that stuff does help to judge the landing page. But saying that, my default for a landing page to get started really fast, say with Google Ads campaigns, is to have a headline. That's a question where I want the visitor to go, yes, that's exactly what I want, or yes, that's me. I want them to go, yes, thank goodness I found this page. Like, it might be, are you a business owner who wants to get better at your sales? ? You want them to go, yes, that's me. That's exactly what I'm looking for. For a local tradesperson, it would be, are you looking to get your washing machine repaired in Rathmines in Dublin? ? And they'll be like, yes, I am looking for washing machine repairs in Rathmines. Then I might have a couple of bullet points explaining that we fix washing machines, we serve Rathmines. Third bullet point is like a call to action one. Contact us to arrange a call out or whatever, something like that. And then below that is the button which says contact us or request a call back or something like that. So the third bullet point tells them to actually click on the button below. That's what I literally start with. And I've had loads of clients and I've waited 2 weeks while I work on the landing page. And I'll be like, I can start the campaigns now if you set something up really simple. Oh, no, we need to add this, we need to add that. And all these bells and whistles get added to the page, and it comes through to me 2 weeks later. And the first thing I do is say, can you remove a lot of those bells and whistles? Because I think they're going to distract people from your call to action, the actual button that you want them to click. And also, I'd love to know what the baseline is, like how well visitors convert into inquirers without all that stuff, and then add these additional things in one at a time to find out if it increases that conversion rate or not. So my advice to folks creating a landing page is to make it as simple as possible and get it out there as soon as possible and engage the market and start getting feedback quicker. And then also do it without lots of elements on it, and then start adding those elements in. Because what will happen is if you launch something really simple, people are going to start asking you questions. So then you can start answering those questions and add it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like my take on a landing page is it should say as much as it needs to and not anymore. And it's just another sales call in a sense. There's usually one key problem to solve. And that's true in a sales situation. And that's true in a landing page situation. The offer has to be really good and simple. The conversation should be crisp, right? Long-winded and tedious and talking about features. Those are all things that don't belong in a landing page. They don't also belong in a sales call. And there should be one call to action. So the same things you're talking about. What is it you want to accomplish in this sales call? What is it that you want to accomplish in this landing page? They're pretty much the same. People tend to overcomplicate things. It really ultimately comes down to you're having a conversation with them, and you want to get them to read far enough down the page that they want to keep reading.
Yeah.
Some people, they read 3 or 4 or 5 sentences and, oh, this makes sense. I'm going to do this. Some people need 20 sentences, but they need to see the social proof, whether it's written as a landing page or you're having a conversation. You should only talk as much as you need to talk to help them to make a decision. I think the similarities between a landing page and a sales call are surprisingly common. I would argue with you a little bit. A website could certainly be the landing page, but ideally a landing page is created for a particular kind of person. And the difference between that and a website oftentimes is that you don't know who's going to come to a website. And so it has to be more generic. It depends on how complex the company is or the business is. If you only fix washing machines in whatever town it was in Ireland that you're talking about, then the website and a landing page could be almost exactly the same thing. But if you're a big enough company that you've got multiple lines of business and you've got multiple kinds of customers, then the website has to kind of be more generic, whereas the landing page can be just for people that want to attend this webinar or just want to buy this course or just want to get on this mailing list, get this lead magnet. So that's how I see the distinction between a landing page and a website. Both should do the same thing. They're both kind of a sales conversation, but a website's more of a sales conversation of like you're at a cocktail party and you run into someone and they're talking and you find out over time you're back and forth and you're figuring out what they do and they're figuring out what you do. And then you point them to a certain conversation, a certain series of web pages, so to speak. Whereas a landing page, theoretically, the only people that are seeing it ideally are people that might be interested or who have expressed some level of interest in that particular call to action. And you're just trying to get them, once they get to that landing page, to make a decision to take that call to action.
Yeah. It's just that bear in mind that sometimes that landing page will have all the information about that offer. And that's what they've been looking for.
Yeah.
And they'll also want to then do the research on the company. So there's the arguments about, do you put the menu for the website at the top of a landing page or do you not? You know, they do want to see that it's a full website. They land, there's the offer, and then they want to explore and learn a bit more about you as a company. And yes, all that could go on the landing page. It's just that I think in some cases, and it's worth testing always anyway, that people have more faith or confidence if they see a fully blown website and they've landed on one page in a fully blown website, and then they can check lots of other pages and there's articles and all this other stuff. So they go off and explore to get a feel for the company behind this.
Yeah. So you have to have other evidence. And sometimes this depends on how complex the landing page sale is, the call to action that you want to get and how big of a step they need to take. You know, are they just giving you their email address or are they putting down money? And is it $19 or is it $2,900? I mean, you've got a landing page up somewhere that it pretty much is a title and a box to put your email in, and that's it. People go there from Twitter, from some tweet, they go to your landing page and they go, oh, here it is. This is where I put my email address in. And then they get your newsletter, right? And so that's enough information. I would argue it's not, but I think it really depends on the level of commitment that they need to make, how much material has to be on that landing page, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to spend $2,900 coming to your landing page and going, there's a title and a box to put their email address in. They're not going to enter their credit card for $2,900 based on that. They're going to need more evidence. There's some selling that still needs to take place.
And I recommend people just start, like I say, with a headline, 3 bullet points, and a call to action. And then if they can prove they can get visitors to it, then yes, adding to it, start testing. Well, you know what? I should add a bit more content about it. People are asking me, some people have asked me, have you got any proof? Or have you got any, so put some testimonials up. And there's things that you already know that you could probably put on the landing page, like testimonials, how it works, a quick overview, and maybe a little video of you talking about it so they get to know, like, trust you, etc.
Yeah.
But I think people don't start until they've got all that in place. And I think they should start earlier and then find out that actually, you know what, I can't get anyone to that page. Like tumbleweeds, I've announced it to that email list, or I've announced it to my Facebook profile, and nobody's visited. In which case you've now wasted no time getting all that stuff done.
Yeah. You got to get them there first. I wonder if you could put a landing page where it's almost like a survey, where you get them there and ask them a question or two, and then use that as a way to start the dialogue. And
that's what we do. Some of our landing pages will have a headline. Are you looking for XYZ? Because it's Google Ads and we know the search term they typed in, we know they were looking for XYZ. We had XYZ in the ad. So when it's, are you looking for XYZ? Question mark. Yeah, this is the thing I'm looking for. A few bullet points, then a button, and it takes them through a quiz, a survey, asking a bit more information. Is it for an in-person event or is it for a virtual event? So they click that, and then you ask them, well, when's the event going to be? Give them some buttons to click, date ranges, how many people is going to be at the event, and then you ask for their contact details. And then you could get smarter with that survey, if depending on what they've asked. You might give them a different set of questions, and then you might rank it, the importance, or what your budget is, this amount, amazing, right? Drop them into an instant messenger thing with one of the salespeople, or the budget is that, well, we have a book that you might want to buy. So you can get quite sophisticated with that, and that can help to actually increase the number of people who fill in their contact details when you start asking good questions. That makes them go, you know what, the fact that you're even asking these questions means you're going to be able to help me, I think.
I would love to experiment with that, because I have opportunities to do that exact thing. We should definitely experiment with that a little bit in the weeks ahead, because I have a course coming up, got some other stuff that I'm doing. I've got a book coming up. These might be where we could test some of this stuff. That might be kind of
cool. And we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the one hand, we both agree, get it out there sooner rather than later. I noticed when we were talking about your landing pages, I would be telling you to get it out quicker, not add all this extra stuff. And in fact, get rid of that stuff. I think one of your headlines was, are you a startup founder building stuff and not selling yet? I think is what you said. Are you making stuff and not selling yet? Well, this can help you. And my question was, well, what if they are selling? Well, what if they're making stuff and they're selling, but they still want more sales? What if they're not making stuff and they're selling and they still want more sales? So I summarized it and said, well, why don't you just say, are you a founder who wants to make more sales? That's it. So, and I find that happens a lot. People get a little bit too specific with a headline or with the trying to target, and actually it could start broader, and then let the visitor figure out that they're suited, rather than them select themselves out when actually you would have been able to help.
Right. And as a salesperson that focuses on one-to-one, I have a chance to error correct, if you will, because you talk to someone and you can customize the conversation. And when you're landing page, you can't do that as much. And it depends on how you're able to direct traffic to that. The conversation has to be better thought out, in the sense that you don't get a second chance to correct your statement because they only see it once on the landing page. And it has to be crisp. And at some level, you can't say too much, right? Right. So
I had this conversation with a very, very good copywriter, and he was running Google Ads campaigns, and he was showing me his landing page. And obviously I asked, what's the search term that they've typed into Google? What have you said in your ad? let's analyze your landing page based on that. And I kind of coached him on reducing it down quite a lot. And it was really interesting. He'd made it too specific about what their problem was. And I said, well, all you know is they typed that search term in and they clicked that, but you don't know why. So don't assume you know why.
Yeah, but if you were able to create, this is, now we're getting really wonky here, but if you were able to create multiple landing pages that addressed each of those specific problems, and then were able to direct people to the landing page that was specific to the problem that you knew that they had, then you could create those very specific sorts of landing pages. And that's what people do with like geographics. I'm now seeing landing pages where you get a customized landing page that says, oh, you're looking for a hotel in Las Vegas. You're looking for a hotel in Houston. You're getting these very customized programmatic sort of landing pages based on where you're coming from and that sort of stuff. It can get pretty sophisticated. There's some pretty clever things being done out there.
Yeah. And that's basically what I do with Google Ads. So if you're looking for XYZ service in ABC location, I managed to construct the ad in such a way that the correct ad shows to you. So if you're looking for XYZ in ABC in location, you go, yes, come through the landing page and I pass in the URL, a headline. It says, are you looking for XYZ in ABC location? Question mark. Yes, thank goodness. I've been around Google for the last half hour trying to find that. Finally, I found, and then the rest of the page is all the same, because we do washing machine repairs in 100 locations in Dublin. It matches and you're happy. And for Google Ads, that's all you need to do. Whatever they search for, you put in the ad, put in the landing page, they're happy. To keep reading, as you said before, the purpose of the headline is to get people to read the next element and then the next element. And the purpose of each is to get people through to the call to action.
Just to wrap up here, we're talking a lot about landing pages, which is, it's kind of a fun topic. And there's more to it than I would have thought a while ago.